What should you wear in a pleasure class? So Western pleasure is a very interesting class. A lot of people wear sparkly shirts with a bunch of bling, with a bunch of diamonds, jewels, but there's also people who like to go plain in the Western pleasure. So I'll show you guys some of my options in my wardrobe that I would pick to show in the pleasure, horsemanship, Western all around, the trail, the showmanship. Okay, but first, before we get into it, what is the Western all around? So a lot of people don't really know what the Western all around is. The Western all around is a combination of the Western pleasure, the Western trail or city trail, the showmanship, the Western equitation, and the working Western. So Western pleasure and Western equitation are both rail classes. Showmanship is an in-hand class. Trail is a pattern class. Horsemanship is another pattern class. And working Western is a pattern class where you do lead changes. And so a Western all-around horse has to do all those classes in order to qualify. So the show shirts I'm going to show you, I will explain if they're horsemanship, pleasure, trail, or showmanship. So these are a few of my favorite shirts to wear in the Western all-around. And I will go through them and kind of tell you what I like about them, what I would show with them in. And then I have some of these, which you can show in stuff like this as well, in the pleasure, in the Western all around, and the trail, and the horsemanship. But I prefer the sparkly shirts. It's just fun in my opinion. Starting with this shirt. So this shirt, this is my go-to. I show in this shirt a lot. I showed Danny in this shirt. I won 2 state titles in this shirt. This is my go-to shirt. So I would show this shirt is a horsemanship shirt. That's why it has a zipper in the back. So I would show this in mostly the horsemanship. I'd show it in the pleasure, maybe the showmanship, but mostly the horsemanship. This is like my horsemanship shirt. This is another option that I would choose to show in the horsemanship or most likely the showmanship. This shirt I have shown in the showmanship many times, and I show it with some showmanship pants. So this shirt is one of my go-to showmanship shirts. But I would also show in the horsemanship with this shirt as well. Maybe not the pleasure, but yeah. This shirt I would show in the trail, and the reason being is it has a little less sparkles in it. It's more contour. So this is a good one to show in the trail, and you can also show in the horsemanship. I have shown in this one mostly in the raining. I just like how it has a very minimal amount of sparkles and how it matches my saddle pads and how it has all the paisley designs on it. This is what I would show in the raining in, but you can also show in the city trail. This shirt I really like. This is the shirt that I would choose if I am showing in the Western, horsemanship, trail, and showmanship all in the same day. If I'm going for the Western all around and I don't have enough time for a tack change, this is like the shirt. So this shirt has the sparkles, but it's also a little more plain, unlike my pleasure shirts, which I will show you in a second. But this shirt I would mostly use for the horsemanship or the trail. You could use it in the pleasure, but I like to, when I show in the pleasure, I like to show in something with a lot more sparkle and a lot more color. But this one is a good one for the Western all around at one-day events. Now this one. So this one I would only show in the pleasure. I mean, you could show in the showmanship in this one, but I would only show, this is a new shirt. I would only show this in the pleasure, reason being it's a little more in your face. And in the pleasure, you're judged in a rail class against a bunch of other people. So you want to stand out. And shirts like this with a bunch of different colors, different patterns, lots of sparkles, they're good pleasure shirts. This one, this one is one that I will only show in the pleasure. And I don't really have to explain because you can tell. This shirt is a lot. And I've only shown in it once. Actually, I think I've shown in the showmanship with it as well, but this is a pleasure shirt. Next shirt I have is this one, and this is like one of my favorites, and because it's not as in your face, it blends in. I like to show in the raining with this shirt the most. This is like if I want to go add a little bit of sparkle to my raining, this is the shirt that I will do. This shirt I have had for a very, very long time, and I've won state titles with this shirt. I've shown at higher level shows with this shirt. This is one that if I was showing in the Western All Around, I would choose for the trail. This one is like my trail shirt. I like it in the trail. I mean, and you can show in the horsemanship. It's padded. I like shirts with shoulder pads when I'm showing in the Western All Around. So this is like my horsemanship trail shirt. This one is a pleasure shirt. I showed in this one a few times, and it's just a lot. It definitely makes you stand out on the rail. It's classy with the black. I like the lining on the collar. This one, it's kind of like a sequence. So it's sparkly, it's glittery, it stands out. So I show in rail classes with this one. I have shown in only rail classes with this one. And you could probably show in the showmanship with this one. I would actually show in the showmanship with this one, but mostly the pleasure, because it's a lot of different colors. And it's sparkly, so. Almost forgot about this one. So I don't really know what category this one will fit into, but I have shown at some schooling shows in this. And I like this shirt, except for the glitter getting everywhere. But I would show in the Western All Around in this. I would. I just wish it had a little more on the collar, more jewels, and on the cuffs. But I would show in the horsemanship, in the trail, but I would mostly show this in the pleasure because it has glitter throughout the whole entire shirt. Almost forgot. So 2 other shirts I found in my closet. This one is a Swayze shirt. The material is super thin. This one is a good summer shirt, and I love it in the trail. This is a trail shirt. I like it in the city trail. I like it in the raining. It's lightweight. I would show in this if I was doing the city trail for the Western All Around, and maybe the showmanship. I like my showmanship shirts with a little more bling. Same with my horsemanship. I would like, this is a pleasure shirt, another pleasure shirt. So on the rail, this would be the shirt that I choose. The Ike on the rail, this is the shirt that I would choose out of a lot of my shirts. The sequence one I like a lot more, but I have shown in the Western All Around in this shirt. I just don't think that, unless it is a one-day show, I don't think I would choose this shirt to go on the horsemanship in the trail because of all the color in it. It's a little too much. Now, I can understand if you do not have a sparkly shirt. I'll show you some of my options if I didn't have any of my sparkly shirts to show in the Western All Around with, which you can do. A lot of people do it, so. There's this one, and this one has, I don't know if you can tell, a little bit of some shimmer to it. This one's like plain, but it has a pinstripe. I would show this in the Western All Around if I didn't have another shirt. And this one I have probably, I would probably show in the raining. I haven't shown in this one before, but this one is like a good plain shirt if you're doing the raining. I wouldn't say it would work for the ranch, but it would definitely work for the Western All Around, like the pleasure and the horsemanship and the showmanship if you wanted to. Another option you can go with is just a plain white or a plain black shirt. I have shown actually in a plain white and plain black shirt before. Shown in this in the Pleasure, one of my first shows. I did not own any sparkly show clothes, and I just did it with a purple and white pad. You can do that. Black, you can totally show in a black shirt. I don't really like logos on my shirts, but I mean, it's not frowned upon. So you could probably show in these in the Western All Around if you have nothing else to wear that's sparkly. Go for it. And you can also show in these in the Ranch and the Reining. So the next ones I'm going to show you are to go with my vest that I bought a while ago for the Reining in the Western. And so this, you could show just in this if you wanted to, in the Western. You just have to find a matching pad, and it looks classy. It works. So you could totally show in that if you wanted. Show in a red plain shirt if you wanted. Any color plain shirt will work as long as you have a matching pad for it. And yeah. And last but not least, this is another option. Vests. I love my horsemanship vest. So this one's this is more of a reining vest. I actually bought this to do the reining. But see, it has a little bit of sparkle. You can put this on top of your plain shirt to add a little bit more to it. But if you have any sparkly vests, you can show in those. I wouldn't just, in the Western, I wouldn't show in just a plain vest. I would just go with a plain shirt. But if you have a vest with some sequins, some design, go for it. And for pants, I like to show showmanship, black pants. I like these pants. These are my showmanship pants. I only use these pants for showmanship. I take them off if I'm gonna ride. These are my showmanship only pants. But if you don't have time to change, black jeans are my go-to. I ride in these. I do everything in my black jeans when I'm showing. I show in the Ranch in my black jeans as well. I show in the Reining in my black jeans. These are my show jeans. You don't have to. You can show in regular jeans. You can show in white jeans, burgundy jeans, whatever jeans you want to show in. I just really like the black. And then I like to put chaps. This is optional for schooling shows, but for bigger shows, so these are actually my Ranch chaps. I can't find my black Swayze chaps at the moment, but these are my Ranch ones. And so I show with black chaps or black Swayze chaps, or in all of my Western classes on the rail, horsemanship, trail, not showmanship, not showmanship, but I like my chaps. I always have liked chaps. My Swayze ones, they're all black, no leather. Their material is super thin. You can show in those. And the Ranch, I show my shinks. I do not show in chaps. I have shown in chaps my whole entire career showing. So chaps are just what I do. Okay, for hats. I like to put them in hat boxes to keep them nice. This hat has seen better days. This is my black felt, and yeah, it's bad, but it's okay. I need to get a new black felt, but I show in a black felt hat unless helmets are required. So in every Western pleasure, horsemanship, trail, showmanship, every working Western, whatever it may be, I always show in my black felt hat unless I can't. Like, unless there's a helmet rule, always. This hat is another hat that I would show in, and I have shown in it when I was younger. Doesn't fit my head anymore, but this is like a good showmanship hat. I like my black felt a little better than the straw, but it's also really cute in the Ranch. So this is another hat that if you wanted to, you could show in, or you could just show in a plain white straw. I just like the felt in the Western. I really like the felt in the Western. It looks really classy. I like the straw in the Ranch, but I've always liked felt hats more than straw hats, so yeah. This helmet I need to get cleaned, but this is one of my show helmets, and it kind of makes me look like Megamind, but if I cannot, for somewhat reason, show in my black hat, or I'm showing English, this is my English helmet. I don't go to shows often where I have to show in a helmet, but if I do, I will show in this. It's black. I love black hats and helmets. I don't know why I like black when I'm showing. It's just classy. So this is what I would show in, and if you don't have a nice show helmet, just use like Troxel helmets. I showed in a Troxel black helmet before. You can use your regular riding helmet. You could even wear just a regular, any color helmet with black silk on top of it too. No one will know. So this is what I would show in. I always wear a hat. I never go without anything on my head showing. I always show in something on my head. Another thing that I may or may not show in is my gloves. So I for sure show with my gloves in the showmanship every single time. Kind of forced to. I don't like to ride in gloves. I show them in the English and the showmanship in any showmanship class. I'll show in these. I do not like to show in them in the Western pleasure at all. I may show in them in the horsemanship and trail, but I do not really like to ride with my gloves on, and if I can't, I won't. But showmanship, I most likely will. And it's only, so gloves are not required to show in, they're a decision. And I decide to show in them in the showmanship, you don't have to. Thank you all for watching my video. Today, my video is sponsored by Legends Ranch Show Pads, who have got me a new 2 show shirts coming, one for the Western and one for the Ranch show. So I will show you guys that later on when it arrives, and I have a new show pad coming with that as well. So thank you, Legends Ranch, for sponsoring me and my horses. I am super excited for this year's show year, and thank you so much to all of my subscribers, one in which who decided to ask me if I could make this video, which I love when you guys comment videos for me to make. And she asked me to make this video for her first show so she can know what to wear. So thank you so much. I hope you do amazing, and good luck in the future with your future shows, and hope you do well in the reining.